So welcome back, my dear students. This is another chapter and another ideas, another topic about the international logistic system. And we will talk here about some terminologies that we use for the logistic systems in general. So we have here EXW, it means X works. X works. Okay. And the other meaning is like it is departure from factory, all carriage paid by the buyer. So the carriage will be paid by the buyer here, EXW. Also, we have FCA, that word which start with the F, with the letter F. Free carrier means main carriage unpaid. And FAS, free alongside shipment, it's named port of shipment by the seller. FOB, this is very important actually. FOB, which means free on board, means name port of the shipment. Free on board means that the seller will carry the transportation cost till he put the cargo on the board of the ship. After this, it is the responsibility of the buyer. Regarding letter C, CPT, carriage paid to. Okay. So here CPT, the main carriage will be paid by the seller. CIP means carriage and insurance paid to. And CFR means cost and freight. CIF means cost, insurance, and freight. Cost, insurance, and freight. Regarding the letter D, we have DAF, delivered at Frontier. We have DAS, delivered X ship, or DAQ, delivered X quay by the seller. DDU, delivered duty paid, delivered duty unpaid. But DDP means delivered duty paid. Also, we have the EXW or EX works, suitable for all modes of transportation. Buyers collects and responsible for all carriage. So the buyer is responsible for all the carriage expenditures. The seller to load the goods onto the buyer's collection vehicle. Okay. And the buyer will carry on. FCA, free carrier, suitable for all modes of transportation, main carriage unpaid. FAS, free along ship, suitable for maritime and inland waterway of transportation only. FOB, or free on board, we talked about before, suitable for maritime and inland waterway transportation only. CPT, carriage paid to, suitable for all modes of transportation, main carriage paid, the seller to provide the buyer upon request with the necessary information for producing or for procuring additional insurance. CIP, carriage and insurance paid to, suitable for all modes of transportation, main carriage paid. CFR, cost and freight, and this is suitable for maritime and inland waterway transportation only, like we said before. CIF, cost, insurance, and freight, suitable for maritime and inland waterway transportation only. Those are the main thing. Usually the seller and the buyer will identify the goods, the license and the authorities, the place of delivery, the carriage of goods, contract and insurance, the documentation, the transfer of risk, like the insurance, it means the insurance, transfer of division of costs, who will carry the parts of the cost, check-in package marking, and any other obligation should be there. Those are from the seller, like from the seller portal. From the buyer portal, we will have licenses and authorities, notices, receipts for documents, taking delivery, transfer of risk, transfer of division of costs, and other obligations. Also, we need to know about the credit term. And we said before, when I tell you 2 by 10 and n by 30, it means that you will have a discount of 2% if you paid within 10 days, and payment will be within 30 days. So here we will talk about the international purchasing system constitute or strategy and its interface with the management of the global supply chain. The more important points we want to talk about here are the international purchasing strategy interrelated with the global supply chain embraces the following methodology. Identifying through market research, so in-house discussion and other sources, including legislation, product services specification, and these standards together with the volume of quality required. Researching the most suitable supplier, this is another point. Third point, selecting the 3PL and the 4PL. This required special skills to obtain an efficient CPL and 4PL to deliver an efficient global supply. Formulating and negotiating plan to preferred supplier. Activating the contract with the buyer global supply chain network relative to the date, place of delivery, quantity. Managing the global supply chain in accordance with the delivery date. Tracking the cargo throughout the transit using the online computer access. Taking delivery of goods and undertaking any products evaluation. Developing an aftercare strategy also, whereby the product is continuously reviewed for any subsequent orders or necessary modifications. And to monitor the benchmark performance, like we said, the benchmark is that like you put sole idea for you and you followed what he will say. Global supply chain strategic management embraces a range of items that will now examine what? The positioning in the firm and the supply chain, and the product design strategies. What are the strategies used? Environment of supply chain. It is very important that the marketing and logistics sectors work closely together to accomplish the company global supply chain strategic focus. This is another point. The project management also must be undertaken. The structural planning, how it looks like. The responsibilities, here like this board, with the operation and each part which is responsible. Planning and control should be taken under concern. Those all are the points of the, and also we have to see the duties of human resource management, the location of the factories, distribution. All these points must be taken in the concern when we talk about the global logistic. Negotiating the contract is also important. A wide range of considerations are involved in the product specification, embracing the following. So we have to put in concern the following point. The commercial aspects. That we will know from the marketing research and the industrial research as well. Would allow us to know, emphasize strategies which the consumer, and know what the consumer wants. The technical aspects are regarding the product and the product choice and how we'll produce. Legal aspects. That means, are you in compliance with the legal requirements in this country or in this place where you will work globally? How is the transportation system there and how it works? Also, the product standardization. Standard means that the products are all similar. Okay. Product formulation also is a point of concern. National and international standards also should be taken in concern. Sourcing of product. The product sourcing may be an international, regional, or global level. It requires in-depth analysis and focus on the contract formulation. Also, we should care about the sources and locations, study it. Tendering. The task of tendering represents the important element in contract selection and is defined as an offer to sell at the price indicated and can be converted into a contract by acceptance in the forms of the buyer's order. So if I send you now, I'm just putting for you a price, and I told you this is, I will do this service for you for this charge, I will charge this fees. So this is the, or I will supply you or provide you the product required, but I will take like this amount of dollars. So in that case, this we call it a bid or tender. In the tender, you will put the prices. Then if the buyer accepts it, then it will be under execution in this case. Supplier audit, you have to check out your supplier. This is analyzing supplier's credibility and related quotation. So you will look for a supplier who's able to provide you with anything you need. The overseas markets, you have to know everything about the overseas markets. Digital trade, you have to know also about the digital, like what are the documents needed for the electronic transmission and the data between various international supply chain. Also, the negotiation skills, The process of including, of course, a purchase overseas involves many skills and each situation varies. Of course, you will put in your consideration the cultures, the competition, the language management, cultures, and the attitudes. You will put this in your concern. Transport also, the transport will feature one of the following, like transports also is very important. Are you using the trains, the planes, the ships, all this together? Costing that constitutes another point. Tender receipts, analysis and evaluation and the acceptance of any tender. We're talking about the global purchasing procedures and the global logistic operations. So quality procedures also, dispute procedures, and finally, one must consider security, which is examined in chapter, the upcoming one of the upcoming chapters. So that will be the security of the transactions and so on. We have to talk also about the product pricing in the logistics system, the product pricing. And we will know there are some things that factors that affect or involved in the pricing, like what? How far the minimum cost and return on capital? What do you want? What do you want? How much profits you need? The degree of fluctuation also is another point. What direct terms are available in the market and whether the cost is borne by the buyer is another point. Inbound multi-country sourcing for manufacturers is another point. And sources of raw materials and possible prices changes. So you'll put in this concern also, and the local markup. The word markup pricing means that you will set a price based on the cost. As example, if the cost of this product is $10, and you want to put for yourself a profit margin of $1, the cost is 10, and the profit margin needed is $1. So the selling price will be $11. 10 plus 1 will give you $11. So the logistic operator today recognizes that the fusion of the product information and financial flows is complete. The modern logistic professional now has to manage a three-dimensional supply chain, and we said that it's an operation that need to work from many aspects, not from one aspect only. When you try to look for a global logistic operations, that means you will work from many aspects. Sometimes 3PL means the third party logistic. Who is the third part logistic? The third part logistic here we go. We must have a criteria. We must have a criteria for the 3PL or the third part logistic. Okay, what about the factors? Costs and services are the two most prevalent factors responsible for using. So usually, why we get a third part logistic? Because of the costs and the type of services. Is it like high quality services, low quality services, whatever? So emphasis on improved also supply chain management. The focus is on continuous evaluation. This is another point. Implementation of new information technology. Also, we have collaborative partnership. Value-added services. The perceived benefit to be derived from the third part selected. So he will add for me a value-add services. Okay, provision of core services. Okay, we will say also opportunities to drive forward supply chain management. And finally, global modular products with particular focus on the single accountability entity, such as LLP or PL. Usually we'll focus on the strategic operations in such a work. So we'll go now to what are the factors in the development of the successful 3PL. What are those factors or the third party? Now, too much people are depending on the third party, particularly the days, especially in the ocean, shipping, forwarding, warehousing, or tracking. So all these need the third party. Third party logistic operators, regardless of their experience in outsourcing, face common challenges to prime their markets and keep it primed. So the first consolidation in the 3PL mission statement, the 3PL position in the marketplace is objective and strategic focus. The second consideration in development of a strategy, operational efficiency, is doing the same or similar activities better than competitors. So those are the main points which we talk about when we choose the third party. And those are the main points which we use when we choose the third party. Okay. Shall see you in the next video. Thank you so much.